Good evening, everyone. You're watching the RathCo Gaming Channel. I'm your host, Rob Rath, with my ridiculous and majestic as fuck hat. And this is another episode of the RathCo original program, Deep Thoughts. In this one, our topic of discussion is the subject of video game violence. Okay, what I mean by that is, in the past, and probably again within the near future, there have been many incidents in which video games are blamed for acts of violence or violent criminal activity. I want to discuss this because a lot of people whom are not gamers and are naive to the gaming world are usually pretty quick to say that violence in video games is directly to blame for acts of violence and anger throughout the world. Now, I will admit, there are quite a few very violent video games on the market these days. However, there is an organization known as the ESRB, or the Entertainment Software Rating Board, and they are responsible for placing the appropriate ratings for each and every video game that hits the shelves, be it a digital or physical product. I believe that one of the biggest problems with the rating system is that a lot of retail outlets do not properly enforce the rules when it comes to providing proof of age before being able to legally purchase selected video game titles which have been deemed suitable for mature gamers only. Excuse me. And even those that do properly enforce these rules and procedures, teenagers and young adults can skirt around this process by simply having a parent, relative, or older friend purchase the video game for them. Oh, excuse me. Now, I know that some people might be asking, but Rob, do you really believe that video games are directly to blame for violence in our world? The answer to that question is absolutely not. What I do believe is that I do not blame the video games, just as I would not blame violence in the media, movies, and everyday life all around us, because it is up to the guardians or parents of these children, teens, and young adults to make the right choices for their children instead of simply giving them whatever they would like. For example, if my child asked me to buy her a video game with a mature or AO, which is adults only rated video game title, my first reaction would be to tell her something along the lines of, well, honey, what is this game called? Because I'm going to check it out and do some research to see just how bad it is before I agree to allow you to play it. And in my opinion, this is something that all parents should do, because how the hell can you blame a video game when... I'm sorry, excuse me for 1 second. I'm very sorry. Just muting my phone so we're not interrupted again. Okay, so, as I was saying, how in the hell can you blame a video game when your child commits an act of violence that they witnessed playing a video game that you purchased and allowed them to play? That would be like me handing my kid a carton of cigarettes, then blaming the tobacco company because she gets hooked on them. That is insane thinking. There are a ton of ways that parents and family members can ensure that their child or children realize and understand that what you see through your television set is never acceptable behavior in the realm of reality. And if, for some reason, the child or children cannot comprehend that fact, either because they are too young to understand the concept or they have not been properly educated on the subject. So in my opinion, restricting children and young teens from playing these violent video games is only the first step. Proper communication is one of the greatest tools that any parents have at their disposal, in my opinion. Because by properly teaching your children right from wrong and fantasy from reality, those simple steps and actions can someday save lives from acts of violence that did not have to occur in the first place, thus preventing the wrong people from being blamed. Bottom line here, in my opinion, if someone commits an act of violence, they should be the individuals to accept responsibility for said acts. And by not educating these individuals on matters such as those, the parents who failed to educate them are actually to blame in some cases. In some cases. So before anyone is so quick to blame the video game developers or industry or staff, try to dig deeper and educate yourself on the thousands of methods you can employ with your children to ensure that a loss of life or a tragedy involving violence never occurs. Now, I did some research in the process of making this episode, and I checked out all of the different video game rating categories employed by the ESRB. So let's have a look, shall we? Oh, excuse me. Okay, the first rating you will typically see is E for everyone. These titles are okay for all ages and could contain minor amounts of fantasy violence or make-believe violence. Second one is everyone plus 10, suitable for ages 10 and older due to moderate amounts of cartoon violence and suggestive themes. T for teen, suitable for ages 13 and older due to possible strong language, gambling, suggestive themes, minimal blood, and some violence. Mature, 17 plus. These titles should require identification to purchase and are suitable for ages 17 and older due to excessive amounts of blood, violence, gore, some sexual content, and strong language. Now, the final one is AO, or Adults Only 18 plus. These titles are strictly for adults only, due to long scenes of sexually explicit content, as well as intense and very graphic violence, blood, and gore, as well as constant extreme language and suggestive themes, as well as drug and alcohol use and abuse. So, throughout the recent years, several video games have often been blamed for everything from drug dealing and armed robbery all the way up to first-degree murder. And I'm sorry, but in my opinion, that is laughable to say that video games are the #1 problem. No. I will admit that when parents and guardians allow younger audiences to play these video games, it's the same concept of giving your child alcohol or drugs, in a way. So in their minds, most children would probably think to themselves, well, hey, mom and dad say it's okay for me to play this game, and in the game I can do these things, so why not in real life? Well, folks, that is all I really have to say when it comes to video game violence. I hope that you all enjoyed this episode. Please be sure to like and subscribe, turning on all notifications for the RathCo Gaming channel, as well as our other non-gaming content YouTube channel called RathCo Outdoors. Thank you so very much for all of your support, and I will see you next time. And please, for any negative or positive, any positive or negative feedback is accepted. Please feel free to comment in the comment section below. And I would love to know your take on this topic. I would love to get everyone's opinion on what exactly your take is on video game violence. And until next time, thank you all so much. Whether you donate to RathCo Corporation using the link on the RathCo Gaming homepage is your call. Donate or not, you have the same amount of respect and love for me, because I believe that the people are what matters here, and the people literally make the RathCo Corporation. Without you people, there would be no RathCo. Always remember that. Try not to get bit. Try not to get attacked. Look out for the Umbrella Corporation, and I will see you on the flip side. Hope this video helped. Later.